Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for coming. Welcome to the IAA in Hanover, where we're discussing all things truck. Are you having a nice time? Yes, good. No, thank you very much. Don't leave me hanging like that. Come on. Welcome if you're here in the room. Welcome to everyone watching online. Thank you very much for joining us. We are going to be delving into the future here on Transformed, our little late night soiree. We're going to be rummaging around into the future to see what exciting things are coming up. My name's Dallas Campbell. Joining me on stage, we have a wonderful house band, New Trucks on the Block.
Hey! Yay!
Yes! Playing their own unique brand of sex, trucks, and rock and roll. Honestly, all we do all day when we're rehearsing for this is think of comedy names for our wonderful house band. If you have a comedy truck-related name for a house band, do feel free to give it to us, and I'll give you one of our free mugs. Honestly, we have a whole crate of these mugs around the back. We can't get rid of them fast enough. In fact, we'll pay you to come and get rid of our mugs from round the back. Anyway, I'm also joined on stage by Vicky Butler-Henderson.
Thank you so much. Lovely to be here.
Racing driver, automotive. Why can I still can't say it? Yesterday I couldn't say it. Automotive.
Car. Just say car.
Car journalist, and now official barmaid, propping up the bar.
Yeah, I'm doing a very good job of polishing glass.
You are doing a very good job. Hey, yesterday was fun. We were with David yesterday, talking about change and transformation. You can watch that show online. It'll be up online. Today we're going to change it around a little bit. Today the show's theme is all about challenge and resilience, which is something that you know a little bit about as a racing driver. And I was thinking about this last night in my hotel room as I was doom scrolling, and I chanced upon John F. Kennedy's 1962 Rice Stadium University moon speech. Really amazing speech that he made in the early 60s. Do you remember? Max, you'll remember this in the early 60s.
I was born in 1920.
1962. It's the very famous one where he was like, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard. Because that goal will serve to measure the best of our energies and skills." It's an amazing bit of political rhetoric. And of course, it was done at a time when America was behind in the space race and they really needed to buoy up the country and do all this amazing stuff. And it just reminded me that if you want to do anything big or grand or bold, it's going to be challenging. You're going to have to overcome numerous obstacles, and that's what I was thinking about today. It doesn't matter whether you're going through personal adversity in life, or whether you want to go to the moon, or whether you want to decarbonize an entire sector of an industry, or just get your bloody printer working, which I couldn't do this morning. I couldn't get the printer working. You're always going to be facing challenges. And of course, challenge and resilience, I think, is the story of us. It's what makes people people. You know this.
I do. If you did something every day that wasn't challenging, it would end up being quite dull.
Exactly, exactly. And that is what our story is all about today. We've got a wonderful guest who's going to help us with this story. So let's get on with the show.
Oh.
I like that. Was very gentle. Thank you very much indeed. Vicky, who have we got on the show? Who's our special guest?
Well, we have somebody I'm so honoured to share a stage with for half an hour or so. It is Jutta Kleinschmidt, and she is the first woman to win the Dakar Rally. That happened in 2001, and just before we give her the big warm welcome up onto the stage, we'll take a look at some photographic evidence of what she's been up to. So this is her on the podium in Dakar when she won in 2001, and just to let you know that since then no other German woman has won it either, which is why she's super special in my book. The next photo is her in overalls, showing her setting up her motorcycle for the Dakar in her kitchen at home. Yes, she can compete on 2 wheels as well as 4. And then finally, I mean, of course, this woman's going to want to go into the air, so this is her in her own helicopter. Yep. She has a helicopter license. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a really big warm welcome to Jutta Kleinschmidt.
meet you. Nice. Thank you.
Jutta, welcome.
Thank you.
Before we start, we've got a little, this is our kind of little icebreaker, where we do 5 quick questions just to get the measure of you.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Car or motorcycle?
Now car because I'm getting old. But
What?
when I
Don't
was
say
young, motorcycle,
Yes,
for
exactly.
sure.
Hot or cold?
Hot, because I love the desert.
Okay.
Yep.
Cozy couch or adventure?
Adventure, no question.
Of course. Is the glass half full or half empty?
It is always half full. I am this person, this optimist, and I think otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Exactly. It's kind of a leading question, that one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, uncertainty or predictability?
Actually, a little bit
Yeah.
both. You know, it's a mixture.
I agree.
But uncertain is if you go new ways, which I always did. So you have to accept that.
Uncertainty is what motivates us in a way, but we like to be a little bit predictable.
It's
as well.
adventure in a way and challenging.
Anyway, it's lovely to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
you.
You are such a legend. I want to start right at the beginning, for those not familiar with your story, and I'm sure everyone is, but you studied physics, or an engineer to start with. What was there a particular thing, an event, something that happened that you thought, I'm going to give this up, I suddenly want to go and ride motorcycles across desert? Because people weren't doing that, certainly women weren't doing that. I mean, when was your first Paris-Dakar, or just Dakar, I should call it?
Now called only Dakar Rally.
Yeah.
But it was in 87,
Okay.
so quite a while ago, on motorcycle. Yeah, the reason was the following. When I was young, I loved actually 4 things. Adventure,
Yeah.
challenges, competition, and technology. And then, when I was allowed to race a motorcycle, I bought one, I went off-road, and then I heard about this completely crazy race, the Dakar Rally. And from then on, I had only one dream. I want to do this race, you know, and it motivates me so much that first I followed as a visitor, which nobody did at this time, and I guess the only thing what was good, I survived it.
Yeah.
But then,
That's good.
Yeah, that was good.
Like that.
But you can, at this time, you had no GPS or any satellite phone. If you was lost, you was lost, you know, forever, and you would run out of water and you would die. I had very special stories about that. Anyway, and then I think when you have a dream and you want something really, you have to go for it, and that's what I did. And then I was at the point, if I really want to be a race driver, I cannot work as an engineer anymore because it takes too much time.
So you had to make it. Was there a point where you thought, okay, I'm gonna do this?
But the only problem was I had no money, I had no sponsors when I did this decision.
Yeah.
So, but I still want to give it a try. And I actually thought, what is the main risk? The main risk was, okay, I have no job anymore, I lose it for the moment, I have to leave my apartment. But at the end of the day, I thought the risk is not so high.
Yeah.
And I gave it a try. And that was the start of my career.
That's really interesting. I mean, I'm interested, was there a moment, because you grew up in an all-female household, really, you got 3 sisters. Was there, particularly for motorcycles, certainly for me, it was always like, I want a motorcycle because James Dean rode a motorcycle and Steve McQueen rode a motorcycle. And there was just something
and
cool.
And
Jutta, of course, rode a motorcycle. You were my main inspiration. But for you, was there a particular person or something that kind of got you into motorcycles at that young age? Or
no, when I was 6, a friend of my mother came and he was on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated, and I asked him immediately, I want to have a ride.
Yeah.
So he took me in his bag and we took a ride. My mom was really angry about that because she thought it's very dangerous.
That's mothers' jobs, is to prevent their children from riding motorcycles.
But to be honest, from this moment on, I thought motorcycle is really cool.
And that moment when you decided, okay, I'm going to give up my nice, cushy job, doing physics and engineering, and become a race driver, that's a big step to take, particularly, and I'm interested as a woman as well, because motorsport is dominated by men. Did that cause anxiety in you? Did you think, oh my goodness, maybe I won't be accepted, or?
maybe
Do I have to prove myself more than...
maybe it helped me that I was grown up in a woman household without a man, because from the beginning it was like we can do everything. It was not a typical male or female role. So I thought different, you know. I thought I want to do that, and if the people say, okay, this is not the right thing to do for a young woman, I didn't really listen to that.
That's the secret, not listening.
I thought I will give it a try. The only thing what can happen, I fail, and if I can live with this shame, it's not really a problem, and that's why I want to try it. And by the way, when you come with a big motorcycle, and I started with this BMW.
It's a huge thing.
It's a huge bike, very heavy. And if you come to a race like the Dakar Rally, with this kind of bike, as a young woman, blonde, blue eyes, the guys are actually very helpful.
Yeah. I want to ask, I mean, you're a motor racer, racing driver.
Yeah.
Did you have issues when you first got into it, being a woman in a very male-dominated world? Did you feel self-conscious, or did you feel you had more to prove?
Never, ever. So I've been racing since I was 12, but I'm roundy stuff. So I'm circuit racer as opposed to more adventurous stuff. But as soon as you put a helmet on, it doesn't matter if you're a girl, a boy, or whatever. You are a competitor. But there are certain advantages sometimes to help assist ladies when they need their bike moving, for example. So that muscle power is useful to us sometimes.
Yeah, and this works until you pass them the first time.
Yeah.
Then it's finished.
just take us through your first Dakar rally when you were first riding. What was that like? I mean, tell us maybe some of the challenges, some of the difficulties that you had to face.
I have to say the first Dakar rally was not so successful. I built my bike myself. I went there without any help, any mechanic, because I had no budget. And then actually there was a super difficult dune stage where 80% of the racers were stuck in. I finished this stage late in the night. I came out at a petrol stop only for bikes.
Yeah.
And guess, they filled diesel in my bike. Unfortunately, it was not a truck.
So they filled your bike with diesel, so you were stuck, or did you just have to empty it out or drain it out?
Unfortunately, I drove about 2-3 kilometers more until the diesel was really in the engine, and then it was off. I had to push the bike back 230 kilo. Took me forever.
Wow.
And then clean everything. And then the problem is you have still a road section to do, which was more than 300 kilometers. And then I missed the start of the next stage. So I was out of the race.
So you were out.
A disaster, yeah.
We should probably establish what the Dakar Rally is. If you're not sure what the Dakar Rally, just very briefly describe what it is. It's an extraordinary race.
It is people say it's the hardest rally on this planet, and now it's shorter, 3 weeks long, 10,000 kilometers long, off-road, every year different roads, so you cannot test drive it. A lot of dunes, sand, mountains. Yeah. So
so you did that, and then you moved from 2 wheels to 4 wheels.
Yes.
And how important is the psychology in doing something like the Dakar Rally? Having a strong mindset, being resilient, not panicking, preparation, all those things that I think athletes have to go through, which we don't really think about as much as sort of physical fitness.
I think it's important that you have the self-confidence to do things. So, and this is not normal. You don't have self-confidence like that. And especially if everybody tells you you are not good enough and you shouldn't do that. And if nobody in the family did it before, or even no other woman did it before on this level. So to build up this self-confidence, there was one thing who helped me the most, and that was actually good preparation.
Yeah.
I always try to be better prepared than all of my concurrents.
So preparation is
preparation was my key.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought, because we're actually going to go. I want to go back to Vicky, because you've spent the day going around the IAA again, like you did yesterday, meeting people and talking to people. Did you talk about resilience and challenges with them today?
Yep, absolutely, all of that. And here's something that I prepared earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hello But today we are talking challenges, and of course, e-mobility is facing major ones. Let's find out more.
Well, I think one of the big challenges is the energy distribution. So respectively, we talk about hydrogen or electricity.
The main challenge I would like to say would be to change our mind first.
It's more about the infrastructure. Yes, it's really hard to load a truck, at least in Germany.
There's lack of knowledge, so I think maybe it is the work of informing the people.
When you look around here, when you look at the trucks, there's actually something happening and it's tangible.
So come along and see how those challenges can be mastered. First of all, can you tell me what Truck Charge is?
Yeah, sure. So Truck Charge is our new offering here at the IAA, and it's essentially encompassing 3 pillars. We have consulting, the charging hardware itself, and reliable operation. So it's really trying to bring these 3 and bundle it all together and offer it to our customers. The most important thing is allowing the truck to get back on the road as quickly as possible and completing its route.
I was impressed about the new e-actors. There are many partners, yes, in this area where you really can see the new infrastructure and environment.
There's a physical product now. Yeah, it's there, it's in the market, it's there, people can feel it, people can use it. From an ecosystem perspective, there's something moving. And that's the wow thing for me as a whole.
As we've heard, there are still some challenges on the road to e-mobility, but Truck Charge shows how these can be solved and what the next steps into the future look like.
Thank you very much indeed. You were talking about preparation. Actually, I had a teacher at school, my old drama teacher, and my old drama teacher told me something that I always remembered. He always said, prepare like your life depends on it, perform like you don't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's good advice.
That's very good advice, actually.
While we're on the subject of preparation, we've done no preparation for the next bit, which is our game.
Oh, yes.
Can you tell us what it is? I have no idea what it is. Although all I can see, it says extreme challenge.
Oh, hand over to the quiz mistress. Oh yeah, that's me. So, if you could very kindly make your way to the front of the stage as I explain what happens. So, at the trade fair here, you can experience new challenges and how to master them.
Can you do it alone, or? Yeah.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Extreme Challenges. What would you do? So we are going to start a fast-paced game where Jutta and Dallas, you will be presented with hypothetical and extreme scenarios, and we want to know from you what you would do. You've got 30 seconds per scenario, and Dallas, you're going to go first. I'm going to ask for the first scenario to be displayed, please. Dallas, you wake up to find yourself in a strange city in Germany with no memory of how you got there. What's your plan to figure out where you are?
I'd call room service immediately and ask them where I was.
You need to be, you're more extreme than that. You've got no hotel, you're in the middle of nowhere.
It's you still or me?
You don't speak any German, everyone else.
I'd run out wherever I was naked and see how they reacted.
Okay. I don't think you'd get very far with that apart from into a police station. I'm
just transfixed by that German man's moustache.
Well, you also woke up and you looked like that. You had a moustache and a hat. Okay, that is a mediocre start.
Sorry, I think
mediocre start.
Have I got the hang of the game?
Sort of, but I'd like to paint more of a picture.
Oh, okay.
Jutta,
I see.
Are you ready for yours?
Yeah, it's a different one.
Yeah, different one.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Jutta, here's yours. You're driving alone through the desert and your car breaks down. What would you do to still win the race?
First of all, that looks terrible. My car is already burning, so I take my fire extinguisher, get rid of the burning, and then up into the front of the car, repair everything, and and then go ahead. And if this don't work, I have to wait for my service truck. Maybe I need a part, which I do not have, but I can solve this problem. Don't look too serious.
That doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Great stuff, Jutta. That is that's how you do it, Dallas.
Okay, now I understand. Okay. I didn't understand the rules of the game, but now I understand the rules of the game.
Dallas, you're one next.
Okay.
You forget that you have to moderate an extremely important event with Mercedes-Benz trucks in 30 minutes' time. What would be your opening statement to make everyone think that you came prepared, like we do every day?
Like we do every day.
Preparation.
Go.
Okay, I'd bound on stage, and then I'd suddenly quote John F. Kennedy's Rice Stadium 1962 moon speech as a sort of catch-all to talk about challenge and resilience. That's what I'd do. I'd basically stand on there and let fear take over until something in my brain fizzes and then words come out of my mouth. That's basically what I would do.
And Dallas, is that exactly what happened earlier
Pretty much what happened
today?
I would distract myself.
No, enough time. That's it. You're done. Okay, Jutta, your final one. And then after this, I will ask the audience to give a round of applause to who they think is the winner. But Jutta, your last one. You have to design a new off-road course dedicated to huge trucks. What would be your first obstacle challenge?
We have to replace this one because one thing is missing. We miss a huge dune, you know. So I would carry all the sand I can find, then I would build the biggest dune I can build, and then all competitors who want to do this truck have to try to drive up the dune. Most of them will fail, so we will have fantastic pictures because either they're all down the dune or they get stuck and have to shovel. And the few who make it, they really had the adventure and the challenge.
I love that, of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause if you think Dallas did a good job. You're so polite.
That was the politest, least enthusiastic round of applause ever.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you think Jutta did a great job, give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Jutta wins the prize.
Germany.
Look, Jutta wins a mug.
Lovely.
Look at that.
Yeah. I hope you take all your cup, then we have the same one at home.
There we go.
Rest your wonderfulness there.
I need to do more I didn't really understand the rules of the game.
And nor did Jutta, but she won.
But that's because she's better than I am. That's how that works. Thank you very much for that. Let's talk just a little. We were talking about preparation. That's very important. We sort of talk about challenges. When you're facing a big challenge when you're racing, I'm interested in how you. Like when I'm facing a big challenge, I just go into panic mode. I start crying, I start throwing my hands in the air, and I run away. How do you deal with challenges?
I think.
Do you have a method?
Yeah, I think I love challenges. That is the first thing that's very important. And I think if you have a challenge, you get up in the morning, and you're already thinking about it, how you can solve some problems you maybe find on this challenge. And the nice thing on challenge, what I really love is when you go for it, surprises also come up suddenly and you have to react, you know, and I really like that. And to be honest, even when I had an accident, it works for me in slow motion. If I have a serious accident, I had a few.
You've had that's a whole hour we could spend on your accidents.
No, not so much.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
But I had some, and you roll the car, and you think, oh, maybe I get hurt. But in this situation, I function a little bit different, and everything goes in slow motion. So I have really time to think what I do next.
This is why I would never be an astronaut, and you would be a very good
I would love to be an astronaut.
You have to have that. Well, it's a personality to be able to, when a challenge appears, to not panic and be calm and think problems logically.
I actually panicked one time. I have to say that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was surfing in the sea, huge waves in Hawaii, and one of these waves took me on the ground, and I really thought, now I will die.
Yeah.
There I panicked a little bit. So it depends a little bit where you are.
One of the big challenges that we're talking about here at the IAA is obviously, decarbonisation, thinking about this big sector of transportation, how we can transform it, make it more sustainable. Now you work in Extreme E, and I'm interested in what you think the future of motorsports is in terms of electrification, in terms of things like hydrogen and all these things that we've been talking about.
What most people don't know, I worked 4 years for the FIA,
which is
a great team.
Who are the FIA? Who are they?
Federation International Automobile.
Got it.
Who's doing all the regulation for World Championships.
Yeah.
And even other sports too. Anyway, I had a great team, and together with my team, we changed the whole regulation for this sport. Why? Because we had to make it sustainable.
Yeah.
Because the Dakar Rally, the numbers was going down, factory teams tore out, the drivers get older and older, no young drivers had a chance to come in, too expensive. And with this team, in 4 years, we really changed the whole regulation, and from, I would say, really low level, we came to a level that the Dakar Rally was fully booked again.
Yeah.
And that was really a huge success. But we opened the regulation for all technologies, you know, that you can drive electric-driven, hydrogen, or even any other kind of hybrid, and also combustion engine if you run it clean. But our aim was to run clean.
Yeah.
So, but all technologies was open. And in January this year, the first time an electric-driven car won the Dakar Rally overall. Most people don't even know that.
No.
Because of this new regulation. For sure, we had a little energy generator on board.
Okay.
Because
you didn't have to stop every 5 minutes and
exactly.
Yeah.
But the technology worked fine, and this. If you drive the wheels electric, it's a huge advantage in torque over the dunes.
Yeah.
You know, I had the chance to be with a helicopter in the dunes to watch it, and how they drove up the dunes, it was amazing. You don't have to shift, you know, so you have power immediately. So there's also advantage in it. So if you combine the technologies, which was very good.
So everywhere is changing. Motorsport is changing for the better as well. Now, it has been absolutely terrific to have you on the show. Thank you very much for turning up.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. Hey, listen, we're going to finish with our little top 10 reasons why transformation is like the Dakar Rally. See what you think of these. Right, number 10 starts with excitement and ends with stories no one believes. Number 9, everybody's got a map, but no one knows the exact route. Number 8, breakdowns, we call those stress tests. Number 7, no one is waiting for you. Number 6, spectators always know better. Number 5, teamwork isn't just helpful, it is survival. I like that one. Number 4, every detour is an unexpected lesson in flexibility. That's what you were saying. Number 3, the finish line feels like a mirage. It keeps moving further away. Number 2, it's a test of endurance. Water is essential for survival. And number 1, celebrations are sweeter when the journey has been wild.
Yes, that's true.
There we go. Round of applause for Jutta. Thank you very much, Jutta.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much for turning up, for coming to watch our show, Transformation. Thank you very much to Vicky. You're going to be doing a little bit more mooching around here, finding out what exciting things are happening.
I am indeed, and
tomorrow.
we have a guest as well tomorrow, and that is the futurist and strategist, William Hyam.
Tomorrow, that's tomorrow. Same time, we'll see you then. Good night.
Mercedes-Benz. Trucks you can trust.